Hey, Future Mountain here. Just a little note before the episode. It's been quite hot over here in Sydney, and I've noticed, after editing all my video, that some of the footage has a little bit of a beep and a bop with some of the words and the sounds and that in the video. So, if you hear that, well, that's probably why my laptop did not handle the recording in the heat. So, with that said, please enjoy. Hello and welcome to the realm of Midgard. I'm Dew Mountain and this is episode 22, chapter 2 from our realm. It would seem as though Christmas has come early for us over here in Foxwood. A few weeks ago, not really, about a week ago or so, I placed in an order with Mr. Proranger to harvest up some podsalt for us because I've gotten a little bit lazy. And it would appear as though he has delivered the goods for us, so we will be able to continue on with our roads and our paths and get everything nice and decorated up, hopefully before the end of the year. But I have to address something. Unfortunately, I was not able to make an episode last week. It was just a bit of a busy time and everything, so I just was not able to achieve that. But that does not mean that I haven't been on the realm and working throughout some stuff. No, this is one of the occasions where having the Switch as my secondary has been absolutely helpful here, because while I'm out on the go, I can quickly just hotspot from my phone and get to work through doing up some builds. So, let me go through and show you some of the decorating that I have been able to get done during my week of absence. And, so let's start off by, I'll collect this later, by heading down to our pathway over here, where, as you may recall from last episode, we had our Christmas tree and nothing was really over the top decorated or had anything sort of really looking for it amazingly. But I've gone through and done a little bit of decorating, so let's collect up Dennis and let's get Ted and let's go on a little adventure. So, as you can see here, we've got our little crossroads, which leads off down to sort of behind our enchanting area, and which will lead off into the old zombie village. Yes, Ranger, the slum district will be complete. I just heard a fox laugh, and that wasn't very confident at all. But that path will lead off over to there, as well as another one sort of adjacent this way. So let's first off take our path, which we've seen quite a bit up next to our Christmas tree. This sort of section here hasn't changed that much, and same as the presents, which I'm still really happy with over there. But we have managed now to decorate off a little bit of a walkway and just a seated area over here, as well as sort of leading up nicely to this pathway here, which I believe is actually where Mr. Proranger is going to build up his alliance house over here and sort of replicate his tower, which when we were talking about it would be perfect, because we could have a pathway that just connects straight on into our alliance sort of avenue, so he can get the entrance from both sides. And again, we're still waiting for Lily to get her house up here in this section here. I don't think any of this area has changed up too much, so let's head back over to the pathway over here. Now, a few things have changed to this sort of scenery. First off, we have some more trees around. And you will see that there are some bits of random patches of snow laying around, because I thought I could cheat having to place down all the snow layers to sort of cover that hill, and built up some snow golems and just sort of let them freely roam around. But unfortunately they had their eyes set on Foxwood, so we had to sort of get rid of those guys pretty quick. Yeah, Ted, they were coming for us. But if we come up here, we've got where I was calling my sort of little hut over here. And then we've got another little wagon design, which, I'm really happy with how these little simple sort of Yeah, it's not too much in it, but they pop up really nice and they just add a bit of character to the area. And it leads off to another path with a campfire. Again, we're just waiting for our two friends to add their houses here to really finish off that backdrop. But then it wraps back around over to here where we've got a meeting up with our original pathway from down there. So let's head down here before I go off that direction, because we have a new house which has popped up. And it's... Oh, sorry, Dennis. It's a little bit different to sort of the designs that I've made around before, and we've got a slightly different roof approach here. Not gonna lie, I'm not overly a massive fan of it, because as you can see, sort of where my crosshairs are, there is a trap door which lines up just unfortunately where that half slab is. So I can't have that nice smooth line transition up there, which I'd like. But, I mean, if you're just looking at it from a glance, I don't think you can really tell. Let's dock Dennis over here at the wagon, and then we can have a little look inside of it. So, Dennis, you just stay here, mate. Ted, I might actually get you to stay with Dennis too. So, if we come over into this little sort of cottage abode sort of thing, you can see that we've got a lovely look out into some crop fields, which is just sort of sprouted up over there, and a nice little look over into our sort of spooky forest attempt at it. As you can see, we've got all those stray skulls that we've been collecting up from our stray farm, as well as those few bit of snow patches which are kind of left over from the invasion of the snow golems. There are still some of them out there afoot, but I don't think they're going to come back and attack us anytime soon. So let's head on into this house here now. We've got some workstations to help try and lure in the villagers over to this sort of area a bit more. We've got some nice books in case they want to have a bit of a read. We've got all bunk beds over here to sort of really encourage the village population, which I've got to admit has really started booming in the last week, so I'm really happy to see it. I've been making sure to sort of sleep every chance I get, but since 118 has dropped and we don't need to go as hectic with our lighting, it's really made it a lot easier to sort of keep these villagers alive while roaming around free. Also, Marshall has been on his best behaviour and he hasn't taken out any of my villagers. Not too sure about his friend, but I know Marshall hasn't. Alright, so if we collect up Dennis and Ted, I think we'll continue on the pathway down here before meeting up over there. So Dennis and Ted. I'll get you? Let's go. So as we head on down here, you can sort of see where I've done the spooky forest alongside with our sort of different crop areas over here, which again was to sort of encourage villagers that came over this way to become farmers, you know, harvest all the crops so that they could try and be a bit more self-sustainable and keep up the population. But then we do have the unfortunate sad part of the town, or the village, and that is the graveyard, where we've got a few names to unfortunately fill out. We've got those 5 horses that we lost in one episode due to chunk updates, and yeah, as well as Ted's best barking friend. Where are you, Ted? Speaking of Ted, where is... well, I guess he's grieving. And we've also got a few axolotls which, you know, need to get their name placed down here so they can be remembered as the sort of world ends up. And on that note, when we do end up ending... words, man, you're just not really doing well. Come back here, Dennis. I know you'll run away. There's a baby down here. Okay. Getting distracted. But with saying about the ending of the world, and yes, we are planning to close up on my face, end up this season, you know, at the end of the year. And I've been seeing a few comments of people asking about a world download for this sort of world and realm. And at the moment, Mr. Pro Ranger is the owner and, you know, the runner of this realm. And I've been speaking with him, and we are going to try and work out how to get it fully, you know, cleared and everything all nice and bounced. So that way, when we have the season finale, we will be able to include a world download. So, there will be one, just not yet. On that note, let me just quickly sleep and find Ted. Ted! Ah, Dennis! I'm going to sleep before anything else happens. I thought I had you standing. Come on. Alright, there we go. You see that, guys? He is standing now. Come on, follow us. Alright, so now that the morning is upon us, let's continue on our last little avenue which I've been working on, which is just the nice little pathway down here connecting up all of our old houses that we built in, it was about midway through this season. We spent one episode and built up about 6 houses, which are these ones. I challenged myself with a diagonal house, which is this house here on the diagonal. And we never really joined up the paths or made it a part of the town. And now we've really tied all that in. And as you can see, this pathway, you sort of look down to get to where the zombie village is. Everything looks like it's got a bit of life with all the scenery and everything. Now, while we are over here, I would like to show you guys something because I'm getting a bit upset. Like, we've got Ted, who's been named, and he's our faithful dog. We've got Dennis, who's become our noble steed, and I have for him, as you can see here, a name tag, right? And I would love to, I don't trust you, but I would love to name Dennis. And as we see, if we just put it into the anvil, go through, name him Dennis, right? Accept it, and it won't name the name tag. It won't let us name Dennis. So I have absolutely no idea how to fix this. It's annoying me. So if any of you guys have any suggestions and can help me name my mule, please leave a comment. Alright, so with that said, let's continue on our pathway. Let's give Dennis back his name tag so that I can name him when we fix it, and be on our way. Now, we've got the pathway leading into our entrance, which is marked off to be able to come up to this nice open space here, which I was thinking what we might try and do is set up a bit of a pen area, because it's a little bit near the snow, it's a little bit in a cooler section, and I was thinking that, you know, throughout the 6 months that we've been in Foxwood, there's been a lot of wandering traders come around, and their llamas just get left everywhere. So I was thinking in this little bit of a opening space, you know, behind the houses of the village, we might be able to build up a little bit of a sanctuary for some of the llamas that have been left behind. So that's an idea for this section over here, but that's not what I was planning to get done today. No, I want to head off down here and, well, actually, work on up here. The last section, which has always seemed so plain and just so boring. We've managed to fix up the hill over on this side. We added in the windmill and, you know, the house and the bakery over there, and that really tied it all in. What we need to do now is get up there and build ourselves that big storage hut that I've been talking about. Now, if we come over here and go past the research center for the axolotl, we've got a nice little stairway which has been up here before the research center, and it leads us off to where I have marked out where I want my storage hut to be. Now, I'm not sure if this project is a little bit more than I can handle at this point in time. It might be, but this is what I've got planned for us to get done today. I want our storage hut to be built, as well as hopefully getting through a little bit of a bridge to go over the water here. It turns out that my warped mushroom farm has come through the river. Whew, bit of algae in the water. But yeah, get a bridge coming all over to this side, connecting up to our farm and our little mine down there, as well as maybe getting a house or two up on this hill. So, is that going to be a bit more than I can handle? Maybe. Do I think I can achieve it? Yes, Yeah. But before I do, I would like to head on over now, and just at the start of this, let's try our luck with some axolotl, and then we can also try again at the end of the episode. So really, I'm pushing it. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the blue axolotl before the end of this season. What do you think, Dennis? That was you, Ted. Alright, so let's head on down. Please have some axolotl here. Yes, there's still 2. Yep, just I don't know where the pink ones keep going. Alright, Ted, I need you out of the way. So you guys come here. Let's go 1 and 2. Come on. Alright, that's okay. We're going to try again at the end of the episode. So, wrong camera angle. So, I guess with all that sort of update now being shown, what I think I'm going to do is just jump straight into the time lapse now of working on that storage hut up there behind me. So, while the axolotl pushed Ted into the water, yeah, let's cut away there. So I'll see you shortly. Well, welcome back from that time lapse. I hope you guys sort of enjoyed watching that little sort of quick build up of our main sort of storage area, which we've been talking about since like the start, and now finally getting it done about a week or so before we finish. But we're getting it done. Or are we? Well, as you may have seen from that time lapse, I finished up one side of the roof and I started on to doing the second, which, using the warped stairs, takes quite a bit of resources which I was not prepared for. So I've run out of all the warped wood. so I can't quite finish it. So that's when I decided to cut that time lapse a little bit short and show the little bridge being built up. And then, yeah, so I was feeling a little bit defeated and, getting quite late, and it was quite hot in the room here, so I don't know how that's affected any of my recording. But I've decided to just jump back on and do a little bit of what I call the skeleton build-up of that little section over on the hill there. So what we're going to now see is almost the finished project. Almost. Half of the roof is still missing. There is really no interior done. And I have also included in the pathways and where the little cobblestone and mossy cobblestone walls that we use are, as well as marking in a few little houses which have no interior and no roof because we don't have any of the wood. So what we'll be able to see now is our sort of skeleton shape. And then between episodes, I am going to go and get a lot of the warped wood thing. Yeah, words. But so I'm going to gather up a whole heap of that so that we can finish off this little section for the start of next episode. And then we can actually finish off what Mr. Pro Ranger has called the Slum District, which is the zombie village area behind us. So, without sort of, rambling on too much more, let's actually go and see what I've managed to get built up, and we can sort of see the skeleton shape. So, we spin around, we're looking at the sky, we come down, boom. So, as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 little houses up there which have no roofs, but they will, when we get the wood of next episode. And we've got our nice big storage house, which I've got to admit, it's really starting to grow on me. I've been able to add in a few windows, so I've sort of done some work with the resources that I did have, so like adding in those spruce trap doors and the dark oak fences. Yes, fences. So yeah, and I think that's really tying it in. Now if we fly down, you can see that I haven't added in any of the bamboo or the flowers yet, because that comes after the skeleton stage. But we've got a really nice little pathway and our sort of base idea for this whole build. As you can see, is a way of trying to collect back some stairs. I've used the leaf variant of that warped mushroom over there, and some of the copper blocks, which I've knocked back the age process a little bit. None of them are waxed. That's it. None of them are waxed, so they will change over time, just like up at our smoker house. And yeah, I think it's added in a really nice little texture to the roof, because it was quite plain just being those stairs. And then our 3 little wings, our entrance and 2 wings, have the traditional sort of slabbed roof that we've been doing. Now, if I fly over onto the other side, I'll be able to show you what I mean by I didn't get the roof finished on this one. So if we just come up and around, you can see that, yep, big old hole, which allows us to get quite a nice little access into, but that's not going to last. So, as we're sort of mentioning, let's have a quick look inside, where I have moved our map wall. And this is one of the things that I'm just really, really happy with, that we have the whole sort of timeline of Foxwood being, built up, and yeah. So the plan was to finish this area so that we could update this map over here, and then have the last map for when we've completed Foxwood. Unfortunately, we are still going to be doing the map for here today, but it's going to have a few houses with some roofs missing. So I guess it does sort of show the build-up stage of it. And yeah, so I've gone with the traditional amethyst blocks for the roofing, because we all know that anything with the amethyst has importance and value to Foxwood in some way. I've got one lonely chest over here, which will be accompanied by more once we've collected up some more wood, because not only did we run out of the warp stuff, but we've run out of all of our spruce. Now, for those of you who have been watching since, episode 1 of chapter 2, you'll know that we deforested this whole area and ended up with about 4 double chests of spruce logs. I think it was 5 double chests. And this build right here consumed the last 2 stacks that I had, so we now have to collect more wood. So it's probably a good thing that we're coming towards the end of the season, because I'm running out of resources everywhere now to try and get all this finished. And yeah, no, I'm just really happy with how this is sort of looking up, and I would have been much more happier if we were able to have all of the decoration and all the flowers around, but time and heat here in Sydney has not helped out at all. So let's now just go along and sort of give a little sort of show off of each sort of house. As you can see, none of them will have a floor or any interior, so they're all just basically placeholders until I can finish the design on them. We've got a few empty spots here, which another tree will be placed, but as I ran out of spruce logs, that means I didn't have enough to actually make those, the 6-sided barked spruce that I use for the trees. So that'll be in for next episode. We've come around here with our pathway leading up to a lovely little house over here, which once it has some windows, we'll have nice little views out into, all of our little campground down there and into Midgard. And then we've got another nice little area which, I'm thinking we might want to put some crops or something just to have growing around here, because Foxwood is the farming village of the realm. So, and then we've got 2 little pathways here, one that just wraps down to this nice little sort of homely abode, which will look out by our little pond over there, and another view sort of to Midgard with a bit more clearer sort of eyesight or line of sight. I'm really not good with words today, am I? But we'll come back over here and head up. We've placed in a few of the benches because, as you know, they're just perfect for when you got to sleep, and also keeping up the villager population. We come up here to our slightly larger house, and it has the best view, I reckon. And as you can see, I have been planning out the trees before I ran out of the logs. So we've got our final little pathway down here with another little bench, and going to have a nice tree sort of built up on the hill. As you can see, I've sort of had the roots incorporate into the ground a bit more. So if we come down here, I'm thinking that once we get all that decorated, that is going to be really cool and just sort of pop out a little bit more. And I'm thinking I might even try and incorporate that over there, where you can sort of just see that lantern there. I think that might be the way to place that. But yeah, so if I can see that the sun is slowly going down. Let's come back over here to where our sort of windmill area is, where we started this little clip, and have a nice little look over at the area, so that way we can sort of get a good picture of what it looks like now, so that when I've done a bit more work on it in between episodes, you'll be able to see how much it's actually changed. And yeah, I don't usually show that sort of, or leave a build on that skeleton stage. I think it's a bit of my OCD that sort of likes me to complete a project, but I think for now this is a pretty sort of good representation of how I like to plan out my builds before I go through with all the details that you can see throughout all of Foxwood. So yeah, I think when we come back next episode, this is just going to pop and really fit in with the rest of the village. Alright, but with that note, let me sleep, and then I think it's time to go and breed up some axolotls. So I will see you in the morning. Alright, it's a new day. Let's try our luck and hopefully get that blue axolotl, because time is not being very kind to us right now. Alright, there's one. Where's the other one? There you are. Come on. No, come up on land. There we go. Nope, don't get confused. Come on. There we go. One for you and one for you. Is this it? It's alright. I'll still love it, but I wanted it to be a blue one. Wait, don't get mad at me. Oh wow, I'm feeling judged hardcore. I'm gonna leave you guys alone. Whoops. So, unfortunately, we did not get ourselves a blue axolotl. But there is always next week. Hopefully. Alright, Ted. I think it's time that we wrap up this episode. But before we do, we've got to update the map. Now, I think I almost nailed this last time we did the update map, Ted. So, if I get you to sit there, let's stand here by this sign. Let's line everything up nice. Come on, nicely. Get down there. That'll do. Yeah, thank you, Ted. That'll do. Alright, so let's see if I can manage to get it right again. And when we sort of have the little wavy flicker of edit magic, this map should be updated. So let's see how we go. Alright, I hope I managed to line that up, but wow. Just look at how much Foxwood has grown on this map. It's incredible. I mean, we've still got those two little blank patches over there where we're waiting for Mr. Pro Ranger and Lily to build up their houses, as well as got to fix up that little space there behind where the graveyard is, and Athika's holiday house and the Nether King's holiday house. So yeah, we've got to fix up on that bit there, as well as add some roofs to our 4 new houses up on the hill, and yeah, and then just try and manage to finish off the slum district. But I think that has all come up fairly well, and I'm really happy with how all this work is. So that is unfortunately all the time that I have. In fact, this video is coming out probably a day late, and I'd much rather have that than go 2 weeks without being able to have an episode, especially when we're getting so close to the end here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this episode. I am sorry that we didn't quite get to finish the project of the storage house because I ran out of resources. But for next time, we will have this finished up and we will be starting off in those zombie villages. So, while Ranger sleeps, I guess I'll see you next time. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!